Hi everyone, I'm Pravalika. My new ID is TN567. In this video, I'm going to explain about creation of arrays and resizing them in C++. Firstly, I'm going to include headers for my code. These are input-output library which I have included in my code. I have used the standard namespace. Next, I am defining a function name print array in order to display the elements in the array. It's going to take the array pointer, which stores the address of first element in the array. Also, it takes the size of the array as its input. I'm going to print the statements by using these open brackets. Next, I'm using a for loop to iterate through all the elements which are present in the array. Initially, array size starts with 0. So I have started with 0, and it should loop through the elements until the size of the array is until the index is less than the size of the array. Next, we are going to print the element at particular index. If not the last element is present, we print a comma and space. So for this, I'm using condition. Value less than size -1. We are going to display the element separated by commas. Next, we are going to end this by using a closing bracket. This is about my print array function, which I will use to display the elements in the array. Next, I have created my main function. Here I am going to declare two variables named capacity and num. Capacity will store the which tells us about the capacity of the array, and num variable will represent the number of elements that are to be inserted. Next, we are going to take inputs for them. I'm going to take the inputs at a time for both of the variables. I'm going to display the variables. First, and next, I'm going to allocate memory for the initial array. By using new keyword. I'm going to give the capacity, my capacity of the array here. Next, I'm initializing my current size of the array to 0. I'm using a print state cout to display the elements which are inserted. Next, I'm using a for loop to read and insert each element. My value should be less than the number which we have, a number of elements which we have given. I'm going to initialize a variable for the elements and take the inputs for the variable. Next, I'm going to check if the array have reached its capacity by using a condition. If size is equal to capacity, and then I'm allocating new array which doubles the capacity. Next, I am using for loop to copy elements from my old array to the new array. Here I am initializing variable name. I'm using a looping variable j less than. We have to compare it with the size of the array and increment this. Next, we copy the elements of our new array into the old array. Each element in the new array is copied into our old array. Next, we are freeing the memory by using delete delete array. Next, we are pointing the array to the new array. Next, we are doubling the capacity value. Equal to 2. Next time you using CO to display the statement. If the array reaches its capacity, you have to resize it. Next, we are going to insert the elements into the array. I'm using CO to display the array after inserting. Element. It will display all my elements. Next, I'm going to call the print array function, which I have created earlier. It will take my array as well as size as its input. And next, I'm going to free the memory by using delete. Using return 0 to indicate the successful completion of my code. So it's asking for initial capacity and number of elements which are to be inserted. I'm giving the initial capacity to be 4, number of elements to be inserted to be 9. I'm giving the first element to be 1, which is inserted in my array. The second element which is to be 2. Next I'm giving the third element also to be 2. Next I'm giving the fourth element. So since my initial capacity of the array is 4, after entering the fifth digit, so it's showing the message array reached capacity and resizing to size 8, which is it is doubling the initial capacity. So the size is double to 8. Next I'm going to another element. Next I'm going to give a 9th element. So again it says that the array has reached its capacity and size is resized to 19. So since I have given the elements to be inserted, which are to be 9. So after 9 elements, my insertion into the inserting the elements into the array has been completed successfully. Here in this code of array creation and resizing, coming to the time complexity, the time complexity for resizing operation is dominated by the allocation and copying steps. Um, Here, allocating memory for a new array takes a big O of capacity time. Also, copying size elements takes big O of size time. The overall time complexity for resizing operation is big O of capacity plus size. So, exact time complexity of resizing operation when resizing occurs due to the array reaching its capacity is big O of capacity plus size.